I'm going to talk about fish oils, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. I've talked about them before and the benefits of them, but I'm going to show you on a brain span test the changes we get. So I've tested all kinds of fish oils. I've been doing brain span for years and years. I don't even know when I started. And Dr. Dan Johnson, the medical doctor, surgeon, he created it. And I'm glad he did because we can just provide great responses, great results with this. And so I've talked to him a lot about a lot of fish oils and a lot of omega-3 type of information. And the fish, I'm going to show you the fish oil did the very best out of all my testing over all these years, because we don't go just by what some supplement rep says or somebody says, but the fish oils are the best of the triglyceride fish oils. And so I've got one that drives them up to, great levels. First of all, over-the-counter fish oils, rancid, they're of no value. They do not change these numbers appreciably. The plant-based omega-3s, they don't change these numbers appreciably at all. So, but triglyceride fish oil will do that. So on this patient, she gave me permission to use her stuff. I don't know if you can see the numbers. I'm trying to do this and do a different way so this looks better. 6.5. We want to get to 9 here. So what do we get? 12.8. That's how high we're seeing these numbers go since I found this fish oil, and we're doing it with this fish oil. Again, I've tested a lot of fish oils. So this drives omega-3s. This is omega-3s. Omega-3 should be here. Omega-6 is here. Omega-6s are inflammatory. So omega-3s, 12.8 up to 9 would be great. The JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association Neurology, says if you can get them up to a proper level, you decrease the chance of dementia by up to 47% just based on that. So the inflammatory climate right here is omega-3s next to omega-6s. So it was 13 to 1. We've seen high. We've seen 84 to 1. 13 to 1's high, but we've seen 84 to 1. I saw 64 to 1. I saw a child that had high, a number of children that had high, which shouldn't be the case. So 13 to 1, and we drove to 2 to 1. And as you can see here, that's the optimal. 1 to 1 would be the best. Never seen it get to 1 to 1. So amazing results with this particular fish oil. So cardiometabolic, that was good on her, no problem. Now I want to show you something else. If I just scroll up here, that her age of impairment that they predict, brain span predicts, was 70. This is the average 70. She was right below 70 on the first day I mentioned 524. But afterwards, her age of impairment where the brain will start, let's just say the brain starts going downhill, is up to 85. And I believe that's the highest that the test will let it get. So we are seeing numbers that are amazing. So we see this in clinical practice, and that's how I figure this stuff out, by doing testing, by watching what works. So we see it in clinical practice, but the studies confirm what we're seeing in practice. One I just said, JAMA Neurology, 47% less dementia on that. And one more thing I want to show, look at the DHE level. So there's DHEA and EPA. We drove her DHEA level 7.9 off the graph with this test. So that's just amazing. Now, other things the science is showing us when it comes to memory. I'm going to cover memory, better focus, learning in school, mood and anxiety. We already covered dementia risk. So memory, there's a higher omega-3 index score will be found with a higher omega-3 index score like we're seeing here. That will be associated with larger amounts of volume in the gray matter of the brain, they say. And this is out of the Journal of Neurology. I'm not pulling out just junk journals here. These are prestigious journals. In that region of the brain where there's memory, it'll make more gray matter if you drive those levels up. That's why it changes. Now, cell levels of EPA and DHA help with memory scores. That's Stonehouse in a Journal of Clinical Nutrition, I think, and he did that. Stonehouse and his buddies, Stonehouse et al. That's the right way to say that. That means Stonehouse and everyone else. So better focus and learning has been shown with higher levels too. So there was a study that they could concentrate better at school if they get those levels up. That was Montgomery and his et al. The guys who he studied with, the men and women he studied with. And then low omega-3 fatty acids in red blood cells are associated with aggressive behavior and ADHD behavior. That was Meyer's study. And so that's another amazing study. A Dutch study on Dutch adolescents said that typically those numbers will help with cognition when you get those numbers up higher. Mood and anxiety, and we see this all the time too. I love when we see it in practice and we can confirm it with the science, because everything I do is based on science. I don't do one thing in this office that I can't back up with science. So mood and anxiety, alternative medicine review showed that getting those numbers up, DHA and EPA, is better for moods. Moods and anxiety will get better. So that's another great one. And in a couple psychiatry magazines, Journal of Clinical Psychiatry said that antidepressants, they compared antidepressants to getting those levels up and found that getting those levels up were highly beneficial. Also, there's a study called Are omega-3 fatty acids antidepressants, or are they just mood altering agents? And so that was in Molecular Physiatry. These are journals I don't look at a lot. Molecular Physiatry. So you can see getting those numbers up make a big difference. When you see on a patient, you're going to see changes. When you see those kind of numbers, and when we go through the cognitive test, her numbers are up too. So this is a cognitive test that she takes on a computer. It's memorization and all this stuff. And so we go up here. This one she messed up on. We talked about that. And this one. So we're going up everything. What's her response? Memory's better, moods are better, I feel better. You go by the test and it'll show you what to do, and patients do better. So that's omega-3 versus omega-6 fatty acids. And that's brain span testing. And brain span, as you can see as I scrolled, has a lot more to it. All the science that backs it and everything. Dr. Johnson is probably the premier, premier knowledge guy, I guess, in the United States when it comes to this. And he made a fantastic test, and we use it every week and have great results every week. So if you're interested in brain span testing, call my office. Whether you're a patient or not, doesn't matter. 314-843-9355, and we'll explain more to you.